I just had to toss that one, honestly, because when I tried, so we actually interact with fire a lot. I personally don't see the need to then walk around smelling like smoke. Hi guys, CeeChronicles here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're a first timer on this channel, my content is mostly fragrance reviews, but I do throw in some lifestyle content as well as some story times. So if that sounds like something that you may be interested in, please do consider subscribing either now or during this video or after it. I would appreciate you becoming part of the family. And to my returning subbies and supporters, thank you so much guys for always coming back and supporting this channel. I appreciate you as always. Kindly give me a follow on Instagram. I go by the name CeeChronicles there. Now, as you've seen on the title of the thumbnail, I'm here with a list of 18 Lattafas that I have decluttered so far. These have gone out of the window. I have never done a declutter video on my channel, but that is for a reason, because what I look at myself more as a fragrance reviewer. I'll give you my take. If you love the fragrance, you can buy it for yourself. And I always try to give honest reviews of fragrances. So the 18 Lattafas left my collection between the year ending 2021 and 2022. So that is why I decided to give you a summary. I'm going to be brutally honest as to why I decluttered all these. I don't have them obviously, so I'm going to be inserting pictures. The first one I need you to know of is Lyra Malaki. Lyra Malaki comes in a squarish bottle with like a horse, and I think I'll put it on either side of the screen. That one was a very fruity, like a thick fruity pineapple scent with a lot of mixed fruits, but mostly pineapple, and it had the cinnamon. It came across as heavy, and I think there was a clash between the cinnamon and the aldehydes because it had that. Before I got the notes from Lattafa, I was wondering what is it in this fragrance that is so annoying, until I did realize that it had the aldehydes. It's very beastly, but to my nose it just didn't work. It came across as very Middle Eastern, very aggressive, and it had to go. The second one that I let go was Bade'e Al Oud, and I know this is a favorite for a lot of people. Bade'e Al Oud, also known as Oud for Glory, is a dupe of Initio's Oud for Greatness. I'm sure you will agree that that is a close dupe. It didn't work for me. When I did the review, if you go back to the review when I actually did the review of it, I did mention that it does have wafts of Baccarat Rouge 540, which kind of calms it down a little bit if you can get past everything else. Now, besides that, it was very aromatic, very herbal. It was also very smoky. Something in there felt like tar to me, and it was way too smoky for me. So I just decided no, because that smokiness was also the smokiness, and the mix of what felt like tar came across as burnt tires to my nasal palate, obviously, and it just didn't work for me. So I kept it for a while. I think I kept it for close to 6-8 months, and I just had to let it go. The third one was Masaji. Masaji I did bring here. It is inspired by Elisab. I'm going to try and put the Elisab one on the side, Royal something. But what they have done with that particular one is they've gone ahead and put some Middle Eastern elements to it, which is what Lattafa normally does. They will get an inspiration and throw some Middle Eastern elements to it. The problem that I did have with that one was it was too rosy. The rose wouldn't rest. The rose just doesn't relent. So it kind of overshadows that mandarin orange top and that orange flower that I had actually purchased it for. And it became too rosy, too bold, and that rose mixing with the patchouli, it became a very aggressive patchouli, like a dirty patchouli, and I just couldn't do it. The fourth one is Fakhar for women. I think this was one that stayed the shortest time in my collection. I actually realized I did not review this one, in as much as I featured it on shorts and in on Instagram. Fakhar I bought for the bottle, and there is another Fakhar. This is a Fakhar from the old collection, not from the new collection. Fakhar women, you'll see the bottle there. That one was all over the place. That fragrance to me is just everywhere. It's got a jasmine that is so loud, like that of Alien, but it's not duping Alien, and it fails to state what it's about. It just becomes a busy, borderline headache-inducing scent with a little bit of some cheap feel there, and I just had to toss that one, honestly, because when I tried, Anyway, the fifth one is Ajwad. I did rave about Ajwad a lot on my channel, and I didn't have a problem with Ajwad because Ajwad is also one that they decided to play around with. It's obviously inspired by Rose's vanilla. Of course, it doesn't feel like it because it's a Middle Eastern take on Rose's vanilla. But what that one was doing is it had a very heavy rose that clashed with an intense jasmine and heavy spices. So in as much as I wore it, and I was so happy to receive that, I wore it for a while, I ended up just not able to do the way it was aggressive. It had to leave, or I just had to use it for extremely cold weather. So Ajwad is no longer here. Number 6 is Shaheen Gold, and this is of the Lattafa Pride collection. Shaheen Gold was too sweet, like very sweet, and it had like a thick tonka. I love tonka, but I will tell you the same tonka I love is the reason why I do not like Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. The way the tonka is done in Good Girl, I think it borderline almost messes up the scent. And this is the same thing that I felt in Shaheen Gold. The tonka was way annoying, very thick, overpowering almost all the other ingredients, because there is fig in that fragrance. But I just felt the way they just took the tonka and threw it in there, to me, messed up everything. Number 7 is one that did not even make it to my collection, but I thought I should say it here in case some of you guys are watching my channel hoping that I do feature it here. Yara Moi. Yara Moi, when I went into the store physically and I saw it there, I wanted to purchase it because I thought maybe this is going to be a Love Don't Be Shy or something different. But no, it just ended up being another attempt at Rouge Malaki or YSL Supreme Bouquet Supreme. So it depends on the one that you've put your nose on, and I just didn't see the need to purchase that because I've got the Rouge Malaki. I've got another version of it which comes from the Lattafa Pride collection. So to me, it was just not necessary even to bring it here for a review. Number 8 is Washwasha. Washwasha. The purple liquid is what made me buy that fragrance, not the bottle. I think the bottle is more suited for a young girl or something because it comes across as very pretty. But the juice in there is not the sort of juice that a young girl or somebody in their teens can do. It's a bit on the mature side. And it is another one that I just felt was cheap smelling. Plain and simple, just cheap smelling, very busy. Doesn't represent anything. It's just perfume. There you can have it and use it, and I just didn't like it for that reason. So Washwasha was in my collection, but I decluttered that one. Number 9 is gonna be Khaid. There was absolutely nothing wrong with Khaid. In fact, it was a hard decision for me to make between Khaid and some of the fragrances from Lattafa that feel like Oud Mood. The only reason why I had to let it go is it felt like what they've already done. I mean, if you've smelled Oud Mood, whether the original or the reminiscent or the velvet oud, Khaid is not one that is going to really amuse you that much. It just is a beautiful scent, but just feels like Lattafa has taken notes and shifted them around and then presented another fragrance. So it was just going to be a replication in my collection. It was just going to feel as though I'm just repeating or replicating one fragrance just in different bottles. Number 10, Naja Silver. But I'm going to have to say this for Naja Silver, Rams Silver, as well as Sheikh Al Shomoukh. Those I bought specifically for reviews because those are masculine scents, and in most cases when I do buy masculine scents, I end up letting them go because I have very little use of them. My son is not a freak head, so he's the sort that he will use a fragrance, maybe one bottle in 3 months or so. So I cannot keep on just dumping fragrances, to him. And I just bought those particular ones and decluttered them right away. So it's not like there was anything wrong. If anything, I think Naja was really beautiful, as well as Rams Silver. I think Rams Silver is a Jean Paul Gaultier Lamel dupe, and that one is really, really popular in the circles there. It is a good fragrance, but those those are no longer here. Number 11 was or is Oud Al Sah. Okay, Oud Al Sah or Sara. Okay, was too much spice in there, too much woods, too much oud, and very suited for a man than a woman. So I purchased that hoping that it will have an element of unisexness to it, but it didn't. So Oud Al Sah was gone as soon as I finished reviewing that one. Number 12 is Khali's Pure Musk. Khali's Pure Musk is a soapy, very light fragrance. What I got from that one is the opening was amazing. It felt like baby powder, and it was that opening that actually lured me in. But in the end, it was very weak, very musky, of which I was expecting that because it's a musky scent. But that baby powderiness mixing with the musk ended up feeling like petroleum jelly, especially Vaseline. If you've used Vaseline, the jelly, not the lotions that are packaged under the Vaseline company, if you've used the actual petroleum jelly, I had wafts of that, and it was wafts of that, not scented. I just didn't feel like carrying a scent like that around me. So Khali's Pure Musk, I had to let go. Number 13 was Maher. Maher I bought, and I'm gonna have to be honest, specifically for the bottle. I think it was also the first time that Lattafa decided to give us a very luxurious presentation, because Maher came in a shopping bag that said Maher. It also came in a beautiful box and well done, like a luxe feel. So as soon as I saw Maher, I had to get that. But besides the bottle being beautiful and the packaging being to die for, it did not smell very different from the other Lattafas that I'd put my nose on. It was one of those fragrances that you would have to scratch to then explain, oh no, this one is different because, and I just felt, no, I didn't need that one, so I let it go. 14, Maher Al Oud Intense. I still have this one in my collection. I'm not gonna lie to say I have decluttered it, but I see myself letting this one go at one point or the other. I think why I'm keeping it is mostly to find somebody who is more suited or who might actually like that. That one has your vanilla and it is very smoky. Now I'll tell you something here for free. I'm an African. We do barbecues all the time, and when we do our barbecues, we have them on an open fire, so we actually interact with fire a lot. So I personally don't see the need to then walk around smelling like smoke, because by default I can smell like smoke if I want to anyway. So Maher Al Oud is probably going to leave my collection. The number 15 is going to be Al Atal. Al Atal, I'll say frankly speaking, had nothing to offer me. It felt like a diluted juice that Lattafa has brought in a lot of times, and they just thought to dilute it and give it out there. So that one was another one that I reviewed, put it back in the box, decluttered it right away. Number 17 is gonna be Hattaat Al Arabia. This one is a sour fragrance. I'm talking about the one in a gold bottle. I haven't actually put my nose on the one in a silver bottle. The one in a gold bottle is very sour, feels very fermented, feels like a lot of raisins and fruits. There's some lemon there in the base, but I just didn't like it. The next one that I had to let go was Samao. Samao, I purchased this, and I remember the first time I did purchase it, I was so happy. I loved that fragrance because it felt a lot like Dior's Pure Poison. And Dior Pure Poison, I wore the heck out of that fragrance. And I couldn't remember why I just stopped purchasing it as my signature scent in the early 2000s. But after I purchased Lattafa, the Samao one, it kind of then reminded me of why I let go or I stopped using Pure Poison as my signature scent. It is a bit on the stuffy side. It gets a little choking, especially if you're in the sun. Very stuffy, non-relenting kind of scent that lingers forever, and for that reason I just had to let it go. The last one, which is our number 18, I still have here just because I haven't found a candidate or a person to give this out, Shomoukh And it's actually just as well that the bottle is here, because there's a lot of Al Shomoukhs in Al Sham something in Lattafa. This one feels like a watered down alien, which is not bad if you love that scent profile, but to me it just doesn't do anything for me. So this one is going to be the very latest declutter that I get rid of in my collection. So there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. In case you were wondering whether I keep all these fragrances and what I get to do with them, I actually do declutter. The only reason why I don't do declutter videos is I either forget or I declutter over time. And so I don't see the need to come with 3 fragrances and say, oh, I'm decluttering these ones. These are fragrances that just didn't work for me. And I know they might work for you, but they just didn't work for me. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know which Lattafas you let go in your collection and why. Let's meet in the comment section. Like this video if you like it. I hope you have subscribed. If you haven't, why not? Stay blessed, stay fabulous, and remember, smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.